today we wanted to talk to you about over-abusing spirituality.
Yes.
By this, what we mean is when you use spirituality as a way to avoid or escape or just be in denial about some of the things within yourself that still need healing.
Yeah.
Just to give an example, like let's say that you have been hurt by many men in the past or women, and now in order to protect your heart from being further hurt, you now use spirituality as a way to feel as though you don't connect with other people as much. Like, oh, they don't understand me, I'm too spiritual, so they don't understand what I'm going through, my vibration is too sensitive, and so on and so on. So that's just one example of what we mean by using spirituality to avoid, escape, or deny deeper issues in yourself that need to be healed.
Yeah, so for example, if you find yourself always wanting to meditate, like it's beautiful to meditate, right? But if you find that you're trying to escape the issues of life, the stress of life by saying, you know what, I'm just going to be in a bubble, I want to just meditate and be in that place consistently. It is beautiful to meditate every day. Really, you only need about 20 minutes a day, and you can do it in the morning or the evening. Those who want to do an hour, that's fine. But when you find yourself spending hours in meditative experiences as a form of escaping daily structures, escaping some people or friends that you may feel have abandoned you or aren't supported and only your spirit guides understand, or only your alien friends understand, or what have you, that is spiritual abuse because you're not in tune with the human being that you are. We chose to incarnate here for a reason. Like, we chose to be here to live the human experience. And while we are spirit, we are soul beings at the core of who we are, we're supposed to embrace this time-space reality. So remember to be present.
Yeah. Just going off of the message of being present too, I want to talk about another form of spiritual abuse, which is avoidance of the messages or the lessons that are coming through in the present, in the here and the now. By that, what I mean is, and I can speak from my own experiences as well, so I've been there, I understand you guys.
Yeah.
In the beginnings of my spiritual awakening, when I was discovering psychic readings and even doing my own readings, you guys, you can't keep getting readings, or you can't keep doing readings for yourself until you see the answer you want.
Yeah. Or you can do it, but it's not very helpful to you.
Yeah, you can. But then you'll just have hurt feelings later when the original message that you got plays out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the message of the cards said what they said, or we said what we said, the psychic said what they said in the beginning. So by that, what I mean is, like, let's say you ask a question about a love or career and you pull the cards and it's not looking very promising. So then you're like, oh, I'm confused. You're not confused, but you just don't like the answer. So you keep pulling more to expand until you finally see something that looks good. That's self-deception, and also, that's another form of spiritual abuse. So, take the advice because maybe that wasn't for you, that wasn't the right fit for you at that time. So just kind of allow the message to come through and allow the lesson to take place so that you can manifest better. So that's another form of spiritual abuse, when you need to more so focus on the present and, not trying to formulate something that's not best for you to be what you hope it to be through these readings.
Yeah, or if you're just spending too much time either through readings or doing channeling work or doing Reiki, and you're so excited in the beginning of a journey, we totally understand because we've been there, but you totally neglect to just play and to do things that are not spiritual. Yes, we're spiritual beings, but we're also people who like trap music, who like to go to parties, who like to skate, who like to go out for a drink, who like to have sex, who like to enjoy life. And it's not, it doesn't put you above others where you're just so spiritual that you can't let your hair down, go for a vacation, turn up in Vegas, go to Miami. You can be a spiritual being but love these human experiences because that's our purpose in this incarnation. So we just encourage you to find balance in all that you do. Yes, we love spirituality. We do it for a living, and we help others for a living. But if we didn't have these outlets for play and to to just release, I would go crazy. There's no way that I could truly help you guys if my mind is always up in the ether. After we do like Witch Walk, we had tons of readings back to back. There was no time for a break. There was no time for a breath. I had to ask the client to sit there while I ran to the powder room to go handle, me. So it's like I had so much energy going on in my crown chakra and in my third eye that I had to ground myself afterwards. So going and tearing up a taco or a burger or, just doing something that just humanizes you. I know Erika had a situation where she was feeling so happy, all these great things happening in her amazing freaking life, and she just felt so overwhelmed. It's like, yes, you can be overwhelmed with this spiritual goodness, but then we went shopping and that was a grounding activity, like going and shopping and just being centered, focusing on the things in front of you. That's a good human experience to ground you. So spiritual abuse, it's tricky because it feels like you're doing good things, like you're helping others. I'm meditating, I'm doing Reiki, but it turns into avoidance when you're also not handling your human emotions of anger, of sadness, of jealousy, of envy, of competition. Like, these things will rise up in all of us. It doesn't make you more spiritual or less spiritual if you're honoring these emotions or not. It just makes you more balanced or less balanced. So that's what we wanted to just really encourage you to do, is to have that release.
Yeah, and you've made a good point before about the topic of the fact that we have chosen to be within this human experience. And if you don't find the balance in it, you've said before too how if you want to be in the ether all the time, in the spiritual world all the time, then you could very possibly, your soul could leave your physical body.
Yeah.
By that I mean, passing away, or croaking, as Abraham Hicks would say. So because if you don't want to have the balance of being a human as well, which you've chosen to be here, then you could go back to just be somebody's ancestor or a spiritual guide or even an ascended master of some form, where you're operating, giving people guidance from the other side instead of in this physical world. So while you're here, learn to love being here as a human. So that's really important.
It's super important. And other psychics, or spiritualists, because I had someone who I really did care about, and they felt that they were intuitive. They felt that they didn't need to respond to me or a message because they were a psychic and they knew what I was feeling. So they didn't have to honor me in this physical reality. Do you think that person is my friend anymore? That doesn't make any sense. Just because you have these gifts, it doesn't mean that you don't have to use your mouth or your throat chakra to I don't have to communicate with you. I already know what you're thinking because I'm a psychic. That type of energy is arrogant. It's haughty, and it's just something that isolates you, because we're here to be of this human community, right? We're here to help each other, to talk to each other, to collaborate. So if we're in this space of isolation where I don't need to honor you and your experience because I already know what everything is about you. No one on this earth really knows everything about you. They can know that you feel irritation, but they don't know the depths of why or where that comes from. They don't know. They may know a general message, they do not know specifics. So when people feel like they can belittle you or not honor you because they're so elevated, just remember, don't let that get to you. Release that person, because it doesn't make sense for us to be in this human experience and feel better than one another based on spiritual practice or spiritual evolution. That's another form of really unhealthy spiritual abuse.
And here's the thing, everybody's at different levels in their journey. Nobody has it all mastered, not even us. And again, we're human beings. We chose to be a human being in this experience, so therefore there's still room for error. So I can get, as an empath, psychic empath, I can feel an overall feeling of what somebody may be going through, but like Christine said, I may not know the specifics, because all I have to translate this information is things that I have gone through and related to try and compare this feeling I have to something that I can verbalize. So it's important to remember that as well. We're all still evolving. We're all learning every day. We may be further along than some people right now just because we are continuously feeding our journey, but nobody is instantly knowing it all or just having all the answers with 100% accuracy at all times of the day. That's not how it works.
And why would we ever want that? if you know me at a personal level, I'm obsessed with learning. So if you take that away from me, I don't know what else I would have, because reading and Googling and YouTubing and understanding and figuring it out is a part of my discovery. Like, that's who I am. I am an explorer at nature. So it's not a bad thing to not have it all figured out, or, you know, those who are coming into their journey and trying to figure out how to meditate or trying to figure out what a chakra is. Never feel less than because you have people in your life that may be more studied, you know, more versed on these topics. They just spent more time doing it. You know, they didn't come into this reality perfect at all of their things. And I think as humans, we kind of forget that in the comparison game that we play, in the envy game that we play. But if somebody makes you feel bad for that, that is spiritual abuse. That is not right. And I think that we need to start to talk about spiritual abuse more, because, you know, you have physical abuse, you have emotional abuse, but you'll have those even within religion who will shame you and condemn you because you're not following the way of Christ. You know, you're not following the way of Allah. You're not following the way. And there is so much freedom in this beautiful spiritual experience in all of these different sects and these different, you know, religions. It really boils down to, or it should boil down to, compassion and love, because that's our essence. That's our nature. We are energy balls made through love, you know, through whatever thought leader or ideal that you may have. At the core of it, we're here to help each other and not condemn each other and not disconnect from reality and be so much up here. Because like Erika, you know, mentioned, I would say to my friends all the time, like, I see this person, they're being so up here all the time, and I pray for them because I don't want something to take them away, to give them, you know, that experience of just being energy. If you chose to be here, enjoy the ride, have fun. Like, spirituality doesn't have to be so dark or so serious, you know, and we forget that because our conditioning led us to believe one story. But now we're waking up and we're realizing it's also just fun to go through it. We have fun with our readings. If we didn't have fun, we wouldn't be doing it, because like, literally my whole life needs to be just fun and ease, play. So I love hearing you guys' concerns and being able to read the energy and give the perspective. When you have a reading with Erika or I, you're never going to feel like, oh, why, I can't say this, I can't reveal that. No, we're just kicking it. We're using our gifts to be here and to play. And in all things, remember that essence of humor and not taking it too seriously, because it'll help you evolve and grow and get the promotion that you want and get the guy that you want, because things are just gravitating when it comes to humor and lightheartedness.
Yeah. I know I find humor in my past, y'all. It's funny.
Yeah.
Those lessons were funny. Not at the time, but they are now. They're hilarious.
Exactly.
The last point I want to make about spiritual abuse is spiritual abuse and friendships. So by this, what I mean is, if you have a friend who's gifted, who works within the metaphysical world, like Christine or I, you guys, you can't just all of a sudden pop out of nowhere and, you know, kind of hope for a free reading. By that, what I mean is, like, when's the last time you just talked to us about how are things going in our lives? You know, hey Erika, how's everything going? How are you feeling? What's new in your life? Instead of just jumping right into, oh my gosh, can you talk? And instead of just, it gets complicated, because with this being our profession as well, you know, it's kind of like, well, what are you really wanting? Are you actually just wanting to vent, or are you kind of trying to get answers out of us to get a free read at the end of the day? Because I'll be that person, I'll tell you right now as a friend, if you're calling me on a friend level and you just want to vent, okay. But if you start asking, okay, well, what do you think? That's a session. So I'm just going to
run me my money.
So if you're not wanting a session, then what I'm going to say is, well, it seems like you already know what you need to do. What do you think? I'm going to kind of flip it. So, you know, you can't abuse your friends who have spiritual gifts either. In that way, especially if you know you have not spent time with them, you know you have not spoken to them in months, and then all of a sudden you have a problem, and now you just want to call them out of the blue and have no idea what's actually going on with them in their life at this time.
Unfortunately, I've had that happen a lot, and I've lost friends because of that, you know, or I'll tell them, you know, this one particular situation, goodness knows, because it's been years since I've talked to her, so I can spill the tea. But she came to me for a session that wasn't really defined as one, because there was no money exchange. But I gave her the reading, and then she listened and said, you're right. Let me go tell him right now, what you said. And I'm like, wait, what? The reading was for you. It wasn't for him, listen to it and take it in. But she just wanted to have me say something so she could use it as leverage to go to him, which was still a form of abuse, because you're not even taking in what I said and just processing this reading. She just wanted to make her point that much stronger, which didn't even make any sense because what I said would leave him. But she wanted to make her point and then go and talk to him and make this whole big thing. Don't drag us into your drama. Just don't drag me into your drama. So that was a form of spiritual abuse. And the people who, I love you guys so much. My phone stays popping. I appreciate it. I love people and community. But like Erika says, like that boundary of, because I have a hard time sometimes setting a boundary of not giving my input. If you're telling me something, I keep it very real. I keep it very funky. So it's hard for me to just say and turn it around where, what do you think? Because if it's stupid or it's like, girl, you're tripping, I'm going to say it. And that's why I feel like people come with that. But understand the position that you're putting me in. I may not say it, but over time, I'm resenting you. Because I notice the exchange isn't even. And then that becomes the awkward space of me not wanting to even engage with you. And then the calls being less. So while I may not directly hit it on, you'll fade from my world if you are in that space of constantly using me without respecting the craft. So to preserve the friendships, like Erika said, the friendship connections, and just remove that potential awkward energy that may happen, just pay your friends. Like they should be the people that you want to pay the most. Like you pay these strangers, pay your friends for their amazing gift, or keep it to a just, how are you, or give them a gift or something. Let there be a value exchange though. Don't always rely on them to save the day, but then you're not there for their wins. Like Eric and I, we've had recent requests on Instagram when we're entering contests to win certain things to really elevate this brand so we can become bigger and better and have more resources to help you guys. And all the competition needs is a like on a photo, or a comment there. And we don't get that support, but those same people will come and then want us to give more advice or a 30-minute phone call. So just think about that value exchange with your friends, whether they're a reader or they help you out in another type of supportive spiritual way. Are you adding value to their lives too? Or are you just in the taker mode? That's something to really just heal if you find yourself to be in that position. If you notice it and you notice a particular friend or two, maybe just write them a note and give them a gratitude. Like, I'm so appreciative of you. I just kind of realized how much you've added to my life, and I just want to say thank you. That goes so much further than you know, because for me personally, I thrive off of knowing that I'm seen. Because I give so much, I want to know that, all right, do you see that it's me giving this to you and adding this value? Just say thank you, and then we can all glow up together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hopefully this gave you guys some better clarity on some different forms of spiritual abuse. There's definitely other forms, but we want to keep time consolidated for you guys, so we're not here for hours. So I hope you got some clarity. And also, if there's anything that you can think of that maybe you're a spiritual healer and you've experienced something, go ahead and share it with us. We'd like to hear about it, and give us some feedback.
Exactly. Yes. So the one thing, it's so funny you said that. The last thing I'll say is anybody around spirituality that makes you feel fear just based off of spiritual reasons, that's the last point I will make, because I've had that recently in a reading request where someone was afraid to get a reading because somebody told them that, like, oh, if I get this kind of help spiritually, I'll be condemned or I could be, hurt or harmed. Fear is never the answer. Remember that, guys. Share this with a friend that it can help and help inspire them to relax or heal. Remember to subscribe. And we do have our new office space that we are currently in, accepting in-person readings. So downtown Long Beach, 145 West Broadway is the address. Long Beach, California, 90802. We will be here for you, and we're launching so many new services, got new products coming. It's going to be a fun ride, so definitely stay for the journey, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye, Vibers.